first things first, I'm going to just find my iMovie app. I'm going to show you a couple of quick tips on how to use the iMovie app. Pretty simple stuff, really. We'll keep the basics. So I'm going to launch iMovie. Once it's launched, I'm going to... these are other projects that have been started, and so all I need to do is start a brand new one. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, do a new project, and it'll give me kind of a blank slate. See here on the upper left, you'll see videos that are on my iPad. And on the right side where it says tap the film strip or the photo thing to insert media, you'll have all that. And then down at the very bottom, you'll see your kind of timeline, and I'll show you when we drop some things in there. Other buttons is here you have the blue film strip that shows you all the films or clips that are there. This is all the photos that are on your iPad, all the music on your iPad, including theme music if you want some of their stuff. So I'm going to go back to clips, and I'm just going to pick some cute ones here. So a single tap will highlight it and let me adjust with the yellow dots on each side. I can adjust if something is to be smaller or longer. There I was just scrubbing, so just by tapping and holding lets me scrub, look at the different frames without selecting anything, just kind of viewing. The other way is a single tap and then hit that play button on the left, and it'll show me that whole clip and play it back. Kids are cute. But now that I have those yellow dots, I can grab those and it makes some adjustments, top and bottom, kind of cut it down so it's a manageable size. Notice that it tells me on the left side how long that clip is, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. There's a good nice 6-second clip. The blue arrow will add it to my project timeline. There it is. There's the 6 seconds I chose. And I'm going to add something else to that, so I'll just come back up and to my clips, pick one here of kids on a merry-go-round. If I want to just watch it, I hit the play button. Stop at any time. By grabbing the handles, I can decide where I want my clip to come from. Middle, beginning, end. As soon as I have that selected, that range within the clip, I'll hit the blue arrow. When I hit the blue arrow, it's going to drop it as close to this playhead. The pink line that's in the middle here is my playhead. So when I drop that blue arrow, adds it to the clip. Come back, I'll watch yet another one. Oh, vertical video, let's not use that. Someone was using my iPad. Let's see. Here's one. Great. She comes down, she picks up a little dandelion, and then tries to blow it. We don't need all of that, so I'll grab the left side and kind of shrink it up, put her hand on it, and just kind of end it right there. I'll drop that down. So that's how we add clips. Notice that it leaves yellow lines on all the clips. It tells me what parts I've used. I used this section here, that one. I used a little bit longer section of that clip, and the middle section of this clip. So that's pretty simple. If I want to use some photos, I can click on the photo icon, pick something from my camera roll. One click on that, and it will add it to the timeline. It automatically does what's called a Ken Burns effect. So if I play through this, it automatically moves from one point to another point in the picture. If I don't like those, I can actually adjust them by doing a single click, and notice that it has buttons up here for end. So I can adjust where the end is, drag to position, pinch to zoom, and I can adjust where it starts. So if I want to start up here, I can drag and or pinch, and you can only do this on still photos, but I could set this so you can't even see my daughter. And that's the beginning position because my pink line here is at the beginning of the clip. And I can either move this out to the end, or if it's highlighted, I just tap end on that right side. So I'm ready to adjust the end. Now maybe I want to put her here or bigger there. So I frame up the beginning and end of that Ken Burns effect. Where does that move happen? And I tap done, which is in that lower right corner. Now when you watch that clip, it goes from where I told it to start to where I told it to end. That's for future reference. We're not using photos in this particular project, so to get rid of that, I can click once to highlight. If I click twice, I get a chance to delete it. So that's when I just hit delete clip. Or I'll show you one more way. If you click and hold, it lands under your finger, and you can drag it up until you see the puff ball, and it just disappears. So there's my 1, 2, 3 clips. I'll go back to my film strip. See if I can't throw in another clip or two, maybe one for class. Good, so I'm going to click that. Is this the one I want? So I hit play. Yeah, that's the one I want. I don't need all of that, so I'll just shrink it up until it starts. Nick is there. And Nick has a clean exit there. And we'll add that down. Notice I added it right in the middle of my other clips. If I didn't want it there, I can go up to the upper right and undo that. There's the undo button right up there in the upper right. And I just move this back to the end. Take that same clip that I had and say, well, yeah, I do like that clip starting there and there. And again, I'm just adjusting the frame so I can see him. And then I'll hit the add button again. That lower blue arrow that you see is kind of that adding button. There we go, added to the project. Now, like we talked about in class, if I want to change these dissolves, watch them. I want them to actually get out of there because dissolves tend to say that we're having a length of time passing or something like that. If it's not the right effect and we want straight cuts, double click on the effect, stripe it down to none. Over to the next one, double click on the effect, none. Now when you watch those in sequence, they feel a little bit more like storyboarding. If I want to edit down here in the timeline, I can click something and turn it yellow. When it's yellow, I can adjust how long it is. So this is me saying, oh, I want to see more of this. Or it feels like he doesn't walk in fast enough. So if I want to adjust this yellow, I can shrink it up until he gets closer into my frame. Then those two may go together a little better. Okay, so that's pretty simple. On this timeline down here, if I take 2 fingers, I pinch, everything kind of comes together tighter. If I pinch my fingers apart, I get kind of a zoomed in view of my timeline. Nothing's changed with my clips. They're all the same length that they were. The entire thing is 20 seconds still, but I see more. If I pinch my fingers together, they become much smaller. It's just a magnifying glass kind of zoom. So let's see if we've covered everything. That's that. Oh, if you do want to erase audio on your clips, which we probably don't want to hear the wind blowing or the chattering, we do remember, a single click lets you edit or trim ins and outs. A double click gives you options to reduce audio here. Add a title if you so choose. I don't know that we really need any of these, but depending on what theme you have set up, you can kind of change what title stays on that entire clip. Not something we probably ought to play with at this point. But I can drop my audio, and once I'm done, I'll just click off of it, and I can move to the next one. I'll double click this one, drop the audio, and off. Drop the audio, and that way, when I put my music in, everything is clean and we don't hear anything. That's a good thing. Okay, so now you're wondering, the last bit, how do we put audio underneath this? Well, I'm going to tap the audio button. I have plenty of choices here. Right now it's showing me the themes. If I go up to this audio tab up top, I'm going to click back left and I can pull up some sound effects. I can go into my playlist and actually pull something from my iTunes, or maybe something that I have here. And so I'm going to click those underneath. Right, pretty simple stuff there. If I don't want it, again, double click, lets me delete and adjust the volume on that. And I will go back and show you some of the theme music. Click on modern, put it on. If I want to sample it, I can clean it, play it here. And if it is the one I like, I'll put it down. Notice if I click one, like iReport is the name of the song here, and if I play news, I like that one better. Click news, it replaces it. The reason why is because we've got it set to play one song and loop it all the way through. If you want to change that idea of like if it loops or doesn't loop, you can come up to the gear in the upper right corner. I tap that gear and notice there's a setting here that says loop background music. If I turn that off and tap off of that, I can set now where the clip comes in and out of, and if I'd like, I can choose another song to drop in